正在线上的各位，稍后我们会在现场注。
第4届怀化市旅游发展大会暨 LP 球杆乔氏杯2025中式八球大师赛超级奋战赛芷江站败部第5轮抽签仪式现在开始。首先抽败部胜者的签位。现在我念到名字的运动员来 TV 台前抽签。刘正杰、51号。孙源、50号。安德鲁·佩吉特、52号。赵坚波、49号。现在抽胜部败者的签位。杨少杰、张太一、51号。郑肖怀、52号。孔德京、49号。杨少杰、50号。抽签仪式到此结束，稍后公布运动员比赛场地。
感谢裁判团队主持抽签仪式，稍后会有统一档入场，谢谢。
My mind is sometimes just a little out there, you know. I like to be that way when I'm making music. You know what I'm saying? And I just go to another place where other people don't go.
现在公布运动员比赛场地：1号台安德鲁·佩吉特、郑肖怀；5号台赵建波、孔德京；TV 2号台刘正杰、张毅；TV 1号台孙源、杨少杰；1号台安德鲁·佩吉特、郑肖怀；5号台赵建波、孔德京；TV 2号台刘正杰、张太毅；TV 1号台孙源、杨少杰。请以上运动员抓紧时间进入比赛场地检录，比赛马上开始。
本届赛事诚挚感谢深度合作伙伴 Joy 乔氏中式台球球桌、比利时雅乐美台球、LP 球杆、野豹台球杆、奥秘台球杆、毒蜘蛛球杆、天耀球杆、飞瑞威力球杆、李斯球杆、奥斯本兹球杆、林肯球杆、塔里克球杆、利百文8848台泥、H153台泥、小麦皮头、超级蓝钻皮头、TP 巧克粉、库洛克巧克粉、幸运1号巧克粉、胜利者沙发、天一沙发、正红胶边、罂粟胶边、老鹰胶边、欧尚地毯、星星暴走、维厨酒庄。感谢官方赛事系统服务商北京乔氏以利科技有限公司，指定官方配件商城卓越台球商城等单位和品牌对赛事的大力支持。要特别鸣谢人民网、新华网、新浪体育、今日头条等20余家综合媒体平台，抖音、快手、优酷、火山等视频平台，微博、微信等综合媒介及生活平台等互联网新媒体的大力支持。赛事详细信息推荐查阅微信订阅号“台球圈有料”。
With the chemistry jack, and when you bite back, we could remedy that. I'm into energy and telling the facts, terrorize my tendencies. Ribs, they better be back, so relax. I'm on the track, this right is my home. I never actually feel my toe, we've been alone. Oh no, if we go again, and you said that we were only friends. I like that with the chemistry jack, and when you bite back, we could remedy that. I'm into energy and telling the facts, terrorize my tendencies. Ribs, they better be back, so relax. I'm on the track, this right is my home. I never actually feel my toe, we've been alone. Oh no, if we go again, and you said that we were only friends.
And when you bite back, we could remedy that. I'm into energy and telling the facts, telling about my tendencies. Outrage, they better be back, so relax. I'm on the track, this right is my home. I never asked, so you feel my talk. You've been alone, oh no. If we go again, then you said that we were only friends. I like that with the chemistry, yeah. And when you bite back, we could remedy that. I'm into energy and telling the facts, telling about my tendencies. Outrage, they better be back, so relax. I'm on the track, this right is my home. I never asked, so you feel my talk. You've been alone, oh no. If we go again, then you said that we were only friends.
Like that with the chemistry, yeah, and when you
bite back, we could remedy that. I'm into
I like that with the chemistry, yeah, and when you I like that with the chemistry, yeah, and when you
bite back, we could remedy that. I'm into
I like that with the chemistry, yeah, and when you
I like that with the chemistry, yeah. And when you bite back, we could remedy that. I'm into energy and telling the facts, telling about my tendencies. Outrage, they better be back, so relax. I'm on the track, this right is my home. I never asked, so you feel my talk. You've been alone, oh no. If we go again, and you said that we were only friends.
gone, they're MIA. It goes on and on, I can't forget. Only you go spinning through my head. You're the one thing I cannot forget. All my teardrops gone, they're MIA. It goes on and on, I can't forget. Only you. Teardrops gone, they're MIA. It goes on and on, I can't forget. Only you go spinning through my head. You're the one thing I cannot forget. All my teardrops gone, they're MIA. It goes on and on, I can't forget. We're all fading away. Only you go spinning through my head. You're the one thing I cannot forget. All my teardrops gone, they're MIA. It goes on and on, I can't forget. Only you.
正式八球国际大师赛。 这里是第4届怀化市羽发大会暨 LP 球杆乔氏杯2025中式8球大师赛超级分站赛芷江站第3阶段败部第5轮的比赛现场。现在欢迎运动员、裁判员。And now let's welcome athletes and referees. Table 1。1号台由来自英国 Andrew 安德鲁佩吉特对阵来自中国郑肖怀，裁判王鹏轩。Table 5 5号台由来自中国赵建波对阵来自中国孔德金，裁判佘真真。Table TV2 TV 2号台由来自中国台北刘正杰对阵来自中国张太义，裁判玉林。Finally, is Table TV1。最后登场的是 TV 1号和平芷江台。本场比赛将由来自中国的孙源对阵来自缅甸的杨少杰。本场比赛主裁判张月秋，助理裁判李亚萌、徐景言。有请各位移步比赛神器，乔氏进退球桌。中巴转动世界球童，正在线上的各位，我们正在芷江为您直播。芷江开赛。
孙源你好，杨少杰你好，请双方选手争夺开球选择权。听我口令，预备，3、2、1，开始。孙源获得开球选择权。
Good day, everyone, and welcome back. We are now on day 7, stage 3. Just 12 players remaining here at the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Super Tour Zhijiang station. On the TV table, this is round 5 of the losers bracket. Sununyan against Phone Menure, race to 15 winners break. Sununyan won the leg. Currently on the table, he's made a ball. Now, if you have been watching our streams, you definitely have seen Sununyan before. He did play in the Baotou station. Runner-up against Chu Bingji, losing out to him in the final. Consistent top 32, top 16 finisher in the Joy tournaments here as well. So his road in the last 32, first match he played Mohammad Reza Hassan, winning that 13-9. This is a double elimination stage, mind you. He lost his second match to Gareth Potts 13-11, which put him in the loser's bracket. Now in the loser's bracket, you always play more matches than the winner's bracket. He lost to La Delg from Mongolia 13-10. Well, he won that. And then he won against Chen Zi 15-5 last night. That's his road so far. 4 matches played, 3 wins, 1 loss. So one of these players will be eliminated. It is a redraw before the start of each round. And what we saw from him in the Baotou station coming through the loser's bracket into the final was his consistency on the breaks. So consistent. He's the player who made use of the softer break, potting the balls in the center very easily. He did go up against Phone Menure in that tournament as well. And yeah, he was absolutely demolishing everybody on his road to the final. We are playing on the Joy Q8 steel block cushion gold leg table with Lieberwin 8848 cloth. It is really nice to see that these conditions are replicated around the world by tournaments, international Heyball tournaments, using the Joy Q8 and using the Lieberwin 8848. So it means it's not only telling you that it's the best playing surface and playing conditions, it's also an international standard, which means it's definitely something that you can get used to. You can get a table like this for yourself with the same conditions. So when you do come to a tournament, you have already prepared for those tournament conditions. And this is a winner's break format. 2 players at the moment who can definitely put together 5 or 6 break and runs in a row. He's left a slightly tough black ball to the top left corner pocket. Overcut that, and he leaves the black ball in the open. It's just the 3 that's a problem. Phone Menure approaches the table. So Phone Min's run through this tournament in the last 32. He won against Chen Zi 13-5, won against Chen Shengyu 13-11, and lost last night to Zheng Kongpeng 15-9. So this is his first loser's bracket match in the tournament. And it's very difficult to imagine that one of these 2 players will not be in the tournament. But that being said, players like Zheng Yebo and Chu Bingjie have been eliminated. Yubo being eliminated in the last 64, Chu Bingjie eliminated in the last 32. I think he's left it. I think Phone has left the black ball. Yeah, you can see a bit of a swerve required. You can see there's a piece of it. But much on the swerve, which brings Phone back to the table. Phone using numerical advantage on the table has 6 solids on the table. So 6 playing 1. Player with 6 on the table should never lose the frame. And I expect this to be close. He's made contact. Unfortunate for him, he's pushed the black ball safe now, so a lot of room for error now for Phone Menure at the table.
延时。
I must say, Phone is a very cool, calm, collected character at the table. Also shows a bit of emotion, has a few antics. He is from Myanmar, so although he lives in China, we have to consider him an international player as well. And in my book, top 2 international players, Gareth Potts, Phone Menure. Both go very deep in tournaments. Difference is, Phone Mint has never won a Masters event, a Masters Grand Finals. 3rd place at the Masters this year, 2025. Top 8 consistently in the other Joy tournaments. 3rd place at the Tianjin Super Tour and 6th place at the Masters in 2024. And this looks like first point is going to go to Phone Menure. That miss from Sununyan, well, he wasn't that good on the black ball, but it's cost him the frame. First frame, Phone Menure. These two players have met on many occasions in these tournaments. So it is going to be an interesting match, and I mean, they both come with real firepower. We know what Sununyan is capable of doing. I mean, if he gets his breaks right, he's able to put together 4, 5, 6 clearances very quickly.
第二局，杨少杰开球。
This is winner's break, so Phone Menure to break, and let's have a look at his break. Watch the cue ball. Oh, lucky. 13 was heading straight towards the cue ball. Yeah, also quite a controlled. He's not hitting the pack that hard, but very controlled. Cue ball veering off slightly to the right-hand side of the table on our screens. But otherwise, look at the spread. Okay, we won't count the 3. I think the 3 does pot into the center, so just one ball near the cushion. But although they're not hitting the pack that hard, it's very controlled, very consistent. It's a stroke through the cue ball. And that also transfers a lot of energy through the pack. Solids in play for Phone Menure, and he's on the 3. So as I said, the 3 does look like it goes. Just drops in off the slate edge. And now he's left himself an angle on the 5. He has to find a gap through the stripes. It's a lot of traffic to get through. 1, 2 cushions. Cue ball should be coming. It should be coming around where the 9. Yeah, I think between the 9 and the 14. Oh, he managed to check it past the rail, so he got it between 15 and 14. And he managed to find a route through all those stripes. Yeah, it's a really nice shot he's played there. I'm quite surprised he found the gap. I mean, there are 5, 6 stripes in the middle of the table. And you can see why he's a consistent top 8 finisher in these tournaments. And 3rd place at the Grandmasters Finals this year. And what a feat that is through the field that he had to go through. He got beaten by Zhijiang, the eventual winner of the tournament. He also had to face Zhang Tai, 2nd place in the tournament. Current World Games gold medalist in the game of Heyball. Oh, has he run too far? I think he has. He's too far. Jump cue needs to come out. Here it comes. Now this is a jump that would be practiced. But But getting in a match is a totally different story. It's there. Very nice recovery. Where's the cue ball? It's okay.
第二局杨少杰胜。
Yeah, great recovery from Phone Menure as he takes his second point and first break and run of the match. Yeah, he actually hit the black ball from the top, as you saw the black ball actually jumping in to that center pocket. So nice recovery shot.
第三局杨少杰开球。
So currently 2-0 up in this race to 15. This is round 5 of the losers bracket. So one of these players will be eliminated in this tournament. Let's see if he can replicate the break. I don't see a ball in. Nothing in. Yeah, Sununyan to the table. Now that's what it's about, finding the break. And as you can see, cue ball off to the right side once again from our view.
10秒。5、4、3。
Very difficult to predict a winner for this match. I'd say it comes down to who's breaking better on the day. Can tell you something, if Phone wouldn't have been able to make the jump shot in the previous frame, the score would have been 1-1. But what I think I can predict is a score line, and it's going to be very tight. This is a race to 15. Yeah, I see both players being in double digits and above 12 or 13. Yeah, now look at the table. 3 solids left for Sununyan, but that is not an easy layout. Three, 4 has to find a way to the 2. Now where does the black ball pot? That's the question. He can't afford to miss another black ball. He had to play there with a touch aside. He was playing there with a bit of inside, low right-hand English to come off the right cushion and land where he pretty much is now. And that could be a costly mistake. As you see, both his solids are on the bottom cushion on our screen. Menure with 7 balls on the table. Pretty much anywhere he leaves the cue ball, it's safe.
10秒，延时。
Yep, he played that. That's exactly what he's played. He's got the 13 covering the center, and he managed to get the 11 off the right side cushion. And once again, Mint left with a situation where he can make a clearance off Sununyan's mistake. And I don't see him making any mistakes with this one. I see 3-0. Still early days in a race to 15, but it always is good to have a head start. Get those first few points on the board. And this black ball to make it 3-0, and he'll be breaking in the next frame as well. Winner break format, race to 15. Menure goes 3-0 up against Sununyan.
卓越商城优质台球配件在线购物平台，乔氏甄选，品质无忧，精选一线品牌入驻，携手打造台球配件新品，专业服务团队贴心售后，全程无忧购物。球房配件选卓越，省时省力更省心。
Currently just 12 players left in the tournament. 8 in the losers bracket, 4 in the winner side. So by the end of this round, we'll have just 8 players left as we go into tonight. He's coming so close to making the cue ball in the center. Has to be careful for that. And that's a dry break once again. Now, who do we have in the winner's bracket still? We have Zheng Kongpeng, Gareth Potts, Tang Shunshao, and Zhao Ruliang. Those are our 4 players who are in the winner's bracket. So they will be drawn against each other tonight in a in a live draw before the round. So, I mean, can you imagine what match we are going to have on the TV table?
10秒，延时。
This tournament concluding on the 27th of this month. So just 4 days left, including this one. And also, in other international tournaments around the world, we've just concluded the Champion of Champions event in Brisbane, Australia. That was won by Clint Ianson in the men's division and Shi Tianqi from China in the ladies division. Equal prize fund, $400,000 total prize money. That tournament brought to you by WPA and Joy Billiards. Joy Billiards uniting the world. And the next tournament in Australia as well, Sydney, Australia this time, started today. Kicks off, I think it's on at the moment actually. That is the Oceania Open. That is for WPA ranking points as well. So playing those continental tournaments are very important for your ranking points, especially when events like the Commonwealth Billiard Championship come about. It's just an example. The first place they look at is WPA ranking points. It's important to play those events, not just to win, but to get your ranking points up. Also entitles you to more spots, to more tournaments. Now once again, tricky situation for Sununyan. He's forced to get the cue ball to the right side of the table on our screen to play 6 and 7. Yeah, just like that. Little shake of the head. It's not perfect. The 7's there. What has he left himself with? Left himself on the 6 and black ball to the same pocket as the 6. The 6 is there around the 13. Oh, that's a marvelous shot from Sununyan. As he gets his first point on the board, a rack and run of Foneman cures dry break. Currently 1 break and run, 1 rack and run in this match, 1 break and run for Foneman, 1 rack and run for Sununyan.
第5局，孙远开球。
Currently 3-1 down, Sununyan to break. Now if he can find his break, he's right back in this match. He made the 11 into the center pocket.
10秒。
He made that ball into the left center pocket on our screen, deciding to go stripes. Yeah, problem ball, the 13. And the way it stands, the black ball doesn't pass to both bottom corner pockets either.
10秒。
Yeah, this will take care of the problem 13 now. Comes across to the right-hand side of the table. He's on the 9. Yeah, but this is a very tough finish. Yeah, hit the rail first. That is never going in like that. He was going to be on the 9, but good chance for Phone Menure coming back to the table now.
10秒，延时。
So Phone Menure at the table. He's on solids, currently 3-1 up in this race to 15. Losers bracket round 5. But this is not easy. The 4 goes to the right center. Has to use the rest now as well. He has the 6. I'd say the 6 is a recovery ball at the moment. It's a very tough clearance to get right for Phone. And even if he gets it, he needs to get his break right because he's playing against a player. Yeah, that's a great shot. He played for that, and he played to stay on the 4 to the center as well. And I think that's what a lot of people like about Phone is the imagination he has coming up with the shots that he plays. Such a creative player. and it's why he can make these sort of clearances. Look at this. From almost having no shot to now having options on both the last remaining solids on the table. Nicely done, and it is looking like Phone Menure will be getting his 4th point on the board, leading 4 frames to 1 when this black ball goes down. Yeah, but it's not about that. He needs to find the break, because I tell you what, Sununyan has been giving him the chances at the table as he pots the black ball for 4-1. And that's 1 break and run, 1 rack and run for Phone Menure, 1 rack and run for Sununyan. And Phone will be making those clearances when he gets a chance.
第6局，杨少杰开球。线后自由球。 6局孙元胜，比分2比4。谢谢。第7局孙元开球。
So we were saying that Phone Menure needs to get his breaks right. Potting the cue ball is not a bad start. He's made the 3 now, has Sununyan on that break, and he's been definitely breaking better of the two. His finishing ability has not been there yet in this match, but I think it's coming up now. 2 rack and runs for Sununyan. Phone Menure with 1 break and run, 1 rack and run. Score is currently 4 frames to 2 to Phone Menure. So Sununyan making a ball. He's still at the table. He's potted the 3 solid in the bottom left corner. And he looks to be going solids, taking the 6 now. It's there off the outside jaw. 4 doesn't go to the center. Blocked by the 13 currently. 7 as well might be blocked by the 10. Yeah, this is not the easiest of clearances, and so far when he's been at the table, he has had to really work for a clearance and work for these 2 points that he has. The cue ball's coming in fast. Now it does look like the 2 passes the 13 into the left center pocket on our screen. Oh, it definitely does. Not only does it pass, he's managed to take it away. So 4 now available into the same center pocket. And I think this is one of his and that's not just because of his potting abilities, which is of course up there with the best. His pattern play and his routing through a frame is what makes him so dangerous. So now wrong side on the 7 to the center pocket. Has to work the cue ball to get back up for the 4. Gonna drill this into the center now. There we go. Look at the cue ball. Off 2 cushions. Fantastic shot from Sununyan. Yeah, you're playing a shot like that with a lot of inside, bottom right on the cue ball to get it to take off 2 cushions like that and come up the table. What has he done there? He's played 6 fantastic shots. And then he snookered himself on the black ball. Lapse in concentration from Sununyan That's all I can say about that. And looking at the table layout, that's going to cost him the frame. He's currently 4-2 down, and if Foneman can find his break, he's still searching. Hasn't found it just yet. The black ball needs to hold up. He's created another problem for himself. He actually wanted to just bump the 15 away from the cushion with the previous shot. Once again, numerical advantage on the table to Fonement 6 playing 1. And in a situation like this, even if you can't get the cue ball behind a stripe as a blocker, just leave your opponent on the wrong side where he can't do anything with the black ball. You have to think what's going to make it most difficult.
10秒。5、4。
And look at how close he came to potting that ball. So I think Fonement can't afford to even let him back to the table. Because even when he snookered himself, he came so close to potting it into the bottom right corner pocket. And there once again, top left was very close to making that black ball.
10秒。
Fonement currently 4-2 up, and this should be his point. It's a big point because it means relying on a touch of luck, but he's played it hard enough that he knows that ball's not going to land on a cushion as the 12 settles in the middle of the table. Yeah, this current point, 7 frame at the moment, getting to 5, it does mean that when we go into the 8 frame player interval, that he will definitely be up. If he takes his point, worst case scenario, he goes up 5-3. Best case scenario, 6-2. Now he might need to reroute as he's pushed the 15 onto the left side cushion. So a few options. He can choose to play safety, but now just 3 playing 1. There's not many places to hide the cue ball. He's going to play the bank on the 15. Yeah, he set for the bank on the 15 to the opposite right center pocket. Cue ball will be coming around 1, 2, 3 cushions into the angle of the 14. Now with the hopes, if he doesn't make it, he gets the cue ball down on the side of the table, which means distance between cue ball and object ball for Sununyan on the black ball. But he's made it. And he actually hasn't hit that as hard as I expected him to. It's a player who's very sure of his bank shots. It's Menure. A little bit pacey on that. He's come a bit far for this black ball, but it should be good into the top left corner pocket, and this for his 5th point. It's not there. But have a look at where he's left the cue ball and where he's left the black ball. So has he gotten away with that? Yeah, he's went for it from that distance. I'm actually surprised he did. I think early in the match, if this was 12 all or 13 all, different story. So this black ball for Fonment to get his 5th point on the board. He leads 5 frames to 2 over Sununyan.
第8局，杨少杰开球。
Menure to break in this 8th frame. He's currently 5-2 up now. We will have a player break after this. Yeah, and in these important matches where he needs it the most, he's not getting the break right. And at this level, and as we go further into the tournament, the break becomes the decider. He's just been very fortunate that Sununyan has not been able to capitalize off all those dry breaks. And the only reason that is because it's still early in the match. Touching ball on the 5. doesn't affect his play at the moment. He's going for the 2 into the center. Yeah, that last frame, he was on such a great clearance. Pretty much threw that frame away, not getting good position on the black ball, which he should have had. You know, it's so easy to throw around the term naturally gifted or the word talented, but I won't use those words when it comes to this player, but I'll say that he makes what he's doing at the table look effortless. Now, of course, that comes from hundreds of, I'd say thousands of hours of practice. And once again, positional error from Sununyan. And he's having a look at his tip. He's not happy with something. I wouldn't be surprised if he changes that during the break. He's overrun the cue ball. Yeah, look at the recovery shot he's planning to play now. Looks like he's banking the 5 through the gap. Yep, there we go. It's there. Had to make an excellent recovery shot. Shouldn't have needed to, but it's there. And the chance is back on to take this frame. This black ball to get his 3rd point. And he'll be trailing by 2 from Phone Menure. It's there, 5-3 as we go into the player break. We will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定台迷丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。
方寸间雕刻，毫厘间相见。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
河北省天一集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验，集研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
园有枳兮，篱有兰，这里生态优美，山清水秀，五水河畔，光影四射，它是那么的灵动和风雅。芷江是侗族人民自治县，是一座被少数民族侗乡文化所萦绕的魅力之城。湖南省100名最美扶贫人物唯厨酒庄董事长吴如女士，在2001年激情焕发，投资农业，扎根芷江。经过多年耕耘，自葡萄种植基地连绵有5万多亩， 他带领当地村民把优质的刺葡萄打造成了集种植、生产、加工、观光于一体的农旅典范，助力富民产业与全域旅游、生态建设、乡村振兴深度融合。行走在酒庄，可见东南亚风格的酒吧，配套齐全的露营基地，风格迥异的美食餐厅，小资情调的千金民宿，典雅精致的侗族演艺大厅，1000个春天，更有气势恢宏的侗家鼓楼巨福楼，楼高30多米，巨福楼广场可同时容纳1万名游客。荷花满园的田园，一花一世界，一步一风景，宛若世外桃源。维楚酒庄非物质文化收藏馆陈列了侗家织布机等非物质文化物件。漫步在幽静和散发着清香的刺葡萄园中，畅享丰收的喜悦，让你心旷神怡。走进酒庄地下酒窖，扑面而来的葡萄酒香味儿，让你仿佛沐浴在温情浪漫的红酒文化之中。维楚酒庄的建设始终以世界的眼光、国际的标准，以宾客为尊的理念，高标准、高质量建成了中国最美侗乡酒庄，同时酿造出了品质一流的红酒。近2年来，酒庄开展了采摘节、小丑节、亚伦蒂尼飞虎 P40潮流音乐节，以及怀化味道第7届高山刺葡萄节等丰富多彩的主题活动。期间人声鼎沸，好评如潮。维楚酒庄还倾力打造了大型文旅实景演绎《侗情芷江》，以浓郁的侗乡文化大餐惊艳呈现。维楚酒庄的美食自成体系，有精、美、情、理的特色，科学布局业态，全力做好文旅加电商加乡村振兴，着力打造网红打卡之地，形成了3农服务的文旅 IP。感受侗族风情，品尝红酒和美食，沉浸于载歌载舞之中，尽情享受红酒与艺术碰撞的文化盛宴，享受诗酒远方的美好愿景。维楚有酒，于斯为醉。中国最美侗乡酒庄，欢迎您！
我是代言人赵卫国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚秉杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
I was born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa our little boy has got the blues.
You better watch what you do to me. Watch what you do to me.
That's for no question.
冠军500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
俺老孙啥功名不要。只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天要球杆，换一切为可能。 中式八球，俗称黑八，是一项原创于中国的运动。在乔氏的推动下，已走进全球69个国家。乔氏中式八球，风靡全球的中国运动。
开球。10秒，延时。10秒，5、4、3。10秒。
And we are back after that player break. Score currently 5-3 in favor of Fonment. Sununyan winning the last frame. Try break. So far, it's another frame with both players having multiple visits. And the only thing at the moment for Phone, he's currently the player finishing the table better, but he needs to get the break right, because if he doesn't, he is playing an opponent who has a really good break ability to clear, as well as we saw in the last frame. Sununyan getting his third rack and run on the board. Able to pinch the cue ball and hold it for the 13 into the bottom right corner pocket. Black ball looks like it just passes the 1. And this is why 2 frames ago I said the frame was so important for Fonman to get the 5th point on the board. It meant that going into the break, definitely up. Worst case scenario 5-3, best case scenario 6-2. Slightly hampered by the 2 ball under his waistcoat. But no problem at all as he takes his 6th point. He leads 6 frames to 3 over Sununyan in this race to 15. Winners break format, round 5 of the losers bracket. Now just 12 players left in the tournament thus far. We are on day 7 at the moment, stage 3. It is double elimination. This is a match from the round 5 of the losers bracket. 8 losers bracket players, 4 winners bracket players. The winners bracket players will be playing tonight, and the losers bracket as well. So if you are in the losers bracket, you are playing twice a day. First session at 10 a.m., second session at 5 p.m. That's local time here in China. He's having a look at the rack now. His percentage of making a ball off the break has not been good. I'd say under 20%. And he's also potted the cue ball as well. He's come very close to potting the cue ball many times on the break. It's this cue ball that's heading off to the center pockets. Much better. This time he's hit them well. You see the control on the cue ball. He made a ball in the center. That's the break he's been searching for, and he's found it. Fonment currently on 1 break and run, 1 rack and run. Looking at where the 11 and 9 are, you'd have to go solids. He's taken his extension. Players get 45 seconds per shot and 1-time extension of 30 seconds per frame. Yeah, it's interesting. He's played into a gap where he could have landed on the 5 down to the bottom right corner pocket, which he almost did. If he overran that more, he would have been on the 6. Yeah, now the 5 and 6 become the issue. 5 does not go into the right center pocket. 6 only goes into the bottom right corner. Yeah, once again, pinch draw on the cue ball to get nicely on the 2 for the center pocket, which is gonna leave him on the 5. Needs the angle on the 5 to just stun across for the 6 next. And he has a slight, it's slight enough, it's okay. Very risky to play into the gap where the 15 is. You can get snookered behind the 15. So in a case like this, you're better off leaving it short than long. Yeah, and that's why he's played to leave it short. He has an angle as well. He should be able to get the cue ball back out for the black ball. Yeah, and at the moment, he's leading by 3 in this race to 15. It's there. It's there, and the way he's played that, the black ball must go to the center pocket now. He doesn't have the full center pocket to work with. It'll be coming in off the outside jaw, left-hand side jaw of that center pocket. No, it's not there. It's not there. He's caught the 12 first. It was a big shot, big frame. Was to go 4 up with a break and run as well. Now Sununyan back at the table, 6 stripes left. He has the problem with the 11 and the 9. Somehow needs to find a way to take care of that and get the cue ball safe at the same time. Yeah, that's not the shot he's played. He's played to pot that ball and land on the 14 at the bottom end of the table on our screen. You have to remember, this is the loser's bracket, so if you do lose, you are out of the tournament. And we've had some shocking upsets thus far. Chu Bingjie out in the last 32, lost to Zheng Kongpeng 13-12, and then to Shen Shenyi after that. Yeah, second opportunity missed from Phone Min Kyo. Now I don't know whether he'll be coming back to the table. Yeah, he is coming back to the table with the cue ball safe. Got those 2 blockers, 10 and the 15. Now first looking at a shot like this, you think jump shot, but not with where the black ball is. Yeah, that ball is not an easy pot from being where it is, so it's a tough pot if you have to play it without the blocking balls and play it naturally. But to have to jump that in with the pace that the cue ball will be coming in, it's not the percentage shot to take. So he's taken the swerve and he's almost made that. So this time Sununyan taking the 11 on to the right. So with that, he's taking care of the 11 ball, which was against the cushion, but he is leaving the bank shot on for Fonement. If this goes, it's 7-3, and this race to 15. And I don't know how many more chances Phone is going to get in this frame, because it's not there. It's not there. Yeah, because the more visits he gives Sununyan, he's going to be able to put his balls in better positions. Yeah, and that's not the first shot he's missed when he's been playing a shot like that, with a bit of inside English on the cue ball. He was playing that with low left-hand side. And he's playing it with the nap, so it is slightly easier than playing that same shot against the nap. One of his great qualities is his finishing abilities, which at the moment is not there for Sununyan. And I think he might have given Phone enough of this black ball to take it to the center, and it's there. Fonement takes his 7th point as he leads 7 frames to 3 over Sununyan.
第11局，袁绍杰开球。
And that was a better break from Fonement in the previous frame. Should have been a break and run. Once again, he's not controlled the cue ball, and every time he's let the cue ball loose like that, he's not made a ball. Yeah, that's not how he usually hits that break. You want the cue ball to stay center of the table. That means you getting the most amount of energy into the first ball, hit dead on and through the pack, and that's usually how you end up making the 2 balls in the center of the pocket, into the center pocket. So Sununyan back at the table now. He has given away so many chances in this match to Fonement. It's the only reason that Fonement is ahead at the moment. Because with the way that he's been breaking in this match, if he was playing an opponent who was punishing every single mistake and breaking well, the scoreline would look very different. So if he does make it through this round, he's going to have to do something about that break, postponement. So he's left the 11 as his last ball. Now you're almost certainly not going to be straight on that. He might try to be as straight as he could be. Depending on how he gets on this 11, he can play the black ball to the right center pocket. Can Sununyan. It's all about the position on the 11 now. Yeah, better from him this time. Similar shot earlier in the match. Snookered himself on the black ball. Bump into the 4 nicely on the black ball. And this will be another rack and run for Sununyan. And that's his 4th point. So 4 points for Sununyan, 4 rack and runs. So what does that tell you? It tells you that he's been just capitalizing off Foneman's mistakes and dry breaks. So score 7-4 in favor of Foneman Kyo. Sununyan to break in this winner's break format. Yeah, and that's why I consider him as one of the players who break the best, especially with the new break rule using the triangle cue ball placed anywhere in the balk area. One of his most noticeable assets in the game for Sununyan is the way he's able to break. We saw that in the Baotou station when he came through that loser's bracket to face Chu Bingjie in the final. In the winner's break format, comes down to the break a lot. Because if your opponent's not breaking, you can make a clearance. You breaking next. If you can run 2 or 3 racks, even if you were behind, it puts you level or puts you 2 or 3 in the lead. So in a situation like this, he was 4 down. He's now just 3 down. He's made a rack and run off Foneman's dry break. Can he put his first break and run on the scoreboard? We've just had 1 break and run in this match thus far. It's 11 frames played. 1 break and run from Foneman Kyo. There has been quite a lot of back and forth. Quite a few frames. Multiple visits from both players. And usually, those frames being won by Phonement, as the 4 points that Sununyan has come from 4 clearances at his first visit to the table. Yeah, he's played on the 3 there. He's played to nudge the black ball, stop the cue ball on 3 for the 3. That was the plan. Because the 3 would leave him perfectly on the 7 and the 6 to the bottom left corner pocket on our screens. Yeah, and that's what's happened. He's had to play a recovery for the 6, bridging off the right side cushion as well. Costly mistakes from Sununyan in this match. It's the difference between 7-5 and 8-4. And what a time for that to be happening in the losers bracket. Played 4 matches thus far in stage 3, defeating Mohammad Reza Hassan 13-9 in the first match. He's lost to Gareth Potts in the second match 13-11, and then had to win 2 more matches to get here into the last 12. Yeah, so he takes the 9 to the bottom left. It opens up the 15 to that pocket as well. And 15 is open to all 4 of the pockets at the bottom end of the table on our screen. Now I would think the reason he's contemplating this is whether he goes into the 11. It's almost natural. Little bump. I did expect him to be slightly better. If he would have caught the 11 half ball, he'd still be on the 15. As you can see, he caught it from behind, full ball. So if you would have glanced the 11, you would have still pushed it towards the center pocket and he'd still be on the 15 nicely. So this is a bit of a tester. Queuing off the cushion for Phonement. It's there. It's there, and to drop that in at that pace. You see, he's having a lot more table time than Sununyan at the moment, and not only table time, he's making the finishes when he's at the table, or he's winning those frames when he's at the table. So like that, you're able to get into a nice rhythm, which it looks like he's found. Yeah, cue ball comes around the 7. Just. And and this black ball to go 8-4 up and keep the lead at 4 frames. Yeah, really nice clearance from Phone Menure. And that is a rack and run for him. He's on 2 rack and runs, 1 break and run. Sununyan, 4 rack and runs.
I was born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa, our little boy has got the blues.
You better watch what you do to me. Watch what you do to me.
Not much. I'll be sorry. That's for no question.
开球。10秒，延时。
And once again, try break from Phone Menure brings Sununyan to the table. He's currently on 4 points, 4 rack and runs. And it's tough going out there for him at the moment. He is, you can see, slightly struggling. Currently 4 frames down. It is a long race though, race to 15. Phone is Just over halfway there. And this for yet another rack and run for Sununyan and to get his 5th point on the board. It's there. Closes the gap again to just 3 frames. Score is 8-5 now, and he will be breaking. And that's a chance for him to pull it back within 2. Yeah, I did see a comment on the YouTube stream saying that Phone has toned down the power in his break. That's because the more controlled break has been slightly more effective, but obviously if that's not working, then power is the way. The more power you inject into the break, quicker the balls are flying around the table, more chance of a ball finding the pocket. But many players are trying to perfect the controlled break. And one of the players who were first to perfect that break is the player currently at the table, Sununyan. Let's have a look at the balls tracking towards the center pocket. This time it's not there. And try break from him. Not often that you see that. He has a very high percentage of potting a ball on the break in the entire tournament. So Fonement at 8-5 up now. He's holding the 3-frame, 4-frame gap even though he's not breaking well. But because of that, other aspects of his game has to be so much better. Like now the clearing part. Has to make this clearance. He cannot afford to let Sununyan within 2 frames. Winners break format, your opponent can so easily come right back at you and get back into the match. So in this scenario, table open the way it is, Fonement on stripes, I do expect him to make the clearance. The 14 connects nicely to the 10. Yeah, look at the gap he's played for there. He's played on the 15 and the 14 through the gap of the 14 and the 6. Yeah, he's played that shot really well, and now he's left himself nicely with options at the bottom end of the table on our screen. The 10 ball would be the ball that's the biggest problem on the table, as it's only accessible from where he is right now. Yeah, that's exactly where he wants the cue ball, on the right hand side of the table, to play the 15 into the opposite left center pocket. Left it with a slight angle, naturally takes the cue ball up table, through the middle of the table as well. Yeah, that's where he wants it, 13, 11, and then black ball into the right center. It's quite rare that we see a match like this. These two players, I mean, some of the best in the world. Fonement not breaking in, but he's able to make these clearances. as he gets his 9th point on the board, and that is another rack and run for him. Yeah, and then his opponent, Sununyan, that excellent break and not able to make the clearances. Huge contrast between these two players in this match at the moment, but Fonement able to keep the 4-frame lead as he leads 9-5 in this race to 15.
第15局，杨少杰开球。
And if there was a time for the breaks to work for Fonement, it's now. Yes, he's injected a lot more power into that. So he said no more soft braking. And straight away potted a ball into the right center pocket. Straight away looking at the layout, the 4, the 10 and the 7 catch your eye. He's taken his extension as well. Yeah, so he is going the way of solids. He feels there are better connectors to connect to his problem balls. Because looking at the way he was on the 9, there was no chance that he was going to get an angle on the 11 to even nudge the 10 if he needed to. And the 6 blocking the path from the 12 to the 10. But yet on solids there are more interconnecting balls. Now a shot like this has to make position. It'll tell us about his alignment and his cue action at the moment. He strikes that ball so solid. Beautifully struck from Fonement. Nicely on the 3 to the center pocket. Black ball does go into the right center and bottom left corner. But he's not out of the woods just yet. He's on the wrong side of the 3. So cue ball is heading towards the right cushion first before coming down table. Now with the black ball going into the right center, he could opt to play the 7 as his last ball even. Yep, that's the plan. He's landed on the 6. He's going to get the cue ball just behind the 7. It's come off the rail a little bit much. I was saying the one place you don't want to be is having to clip that into a blind pocket with the cue ball being on the left cushion. But I expect him to get this, and the cue ball comes off the rail for the black ball into the right center pocket. Yeah, nice pot on the 7. It was the break in this frame. It's been able to give him this opportunity for another break and run and to get his 10th point. And it's there. Foneman Kyo first to double digits. 10-5 up against Sununyan and his second break and run on the scoreboard.
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头。超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。
第16局，杨少杰开球。
So let's see. Power break from Foneman. Yes. A lot of power in that. And he's been unfortunate. It's currently 10-5 up. This is a race to 15 winners break format. Losers round 5. Just 12 players left in the tournament. Sixteenth frame underway. We will have a player break after this frame of about 5 to 10 minutes. So Phone currently 5 frames up. For him, best case scenario, he goes into the break 11-5. And I think Phone changing the break, I think that's, if there's something that's going to give him a slight upper hand, because he is finishing very well at the moment, making some excellent clearances when he needs to, and when he's at the table. It's just the break that's been letting him down. So by changing that, injecting more power into it, that might just give him the edge over Sununyan, who at the moment has not been able to make the finishes that we've usually seen that he can. His finishing ability and clearance game has not been there, but he's hanging on at 5 frames behind. Yeah, and for me it's because he's somehow not getting a good control of the cue ball in this match, and that's what's affecting him. We see him looking at his tip a lot as well. And contrary to what you might think when you see these top players playing this game, it comes down to cue ball control. No matter how well you can pot, to make these clearances, you have to be able to get the cue ball where it needs to be. You can't be making a few break and runs in a row, having to play 6 or 7 recovery shots per frame. Making these clearances in this game comes down to clean, concise, positional play. Better now from Sununyan. all his work at the top end of the table on our screen. Yeah, I've always said he has one of the best pattern plays from the players that I've seen. And this will be his 6th rack and run, 6.6 rack and run off Phone Mencure's dry break. As he takes his 6th point into the break we go. Phone Mencure 10-6 up.
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
俺老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过逍遥日子。
天要求干，化一切为可能。欧尚地毯突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯，掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检。世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。
寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，是我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用，一些中小型比赛也特别适合它用。如果你的球房想用一款非常好的台泥，我推荐 H153。
H153走球更到位。
一线赛事指定台泥：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台泥领导品牌。
翘课我选布洛克。
中式八球，俗称黑八，是一项原创于中国的运动。在乔氏的推动下，已走进全球69个国家。乔氏中式八球，风靡全球的中国运动。
你说青春是什么颜色？赤橙黄绿青蓝紫。青春就不该被简单的定义，打破常规，不被定义。小麦皮头独角兽系列快乐上市。
河北省天一集团。
暂停结束，比赛继续。第17局，孙源开球。
And we are back after the player break. Score 10-6 in favor of Phone Menure, and that's now a dry break from Sununyan, so he was able to take the last frame. Rack and run of Phone Men's dry break. So Sununyan currently on 5 rack and runs, 1 break and run. Phone Menure 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs for him. Yeah, not getting the best cue ball. He's taken solids and the combination does go. So has the recovery combination to use cue ball off 2 cushions. There we go. Now the way he's pushed that, he's left himself on the 3. So at the moment, Sununyan 4 frames away from Phone, and Phone 5 frames away from the finish line. Race to 15 in this round 5 losers bracket match. After this, we'll just have 8 players remaining in the tournament. 4 players waiting in the winners bracket to play later tonight. So if you are in the winners bracket, you are only playing once a day. And those players are Gareth Potts, Tang Shun Chao, Zheng Kongpeng, and Zhao Ruliang. Those 4 players have not lost yet in this last 32 stage 3. We did have Gareth Potts on the TV table yesterday, winning that match against Kong Dejing, taking him down to the losers bracket. He's also the reason Sununyan is in the losers bracket. Gareth Potts beating him 13-11 in the winners second round bracket 2 days ago. Yes, if you can get through those first 2 days and stay on the winner's side, you're only playing once a day, and I think you're only playing about 3 or 4 matches to the final. Yeah, so far Phone having to do quite a lot of work with the cue ball in this frame, up and down the table. But also very creative play with the cue ball, sees finishes the way other people don't. And also, of course, he's able to get the cue ball exactly where he needs it to be. Phone Menure from Myanmar, but lives now in China, has done for the last 5+ years, and that's why his game has improved so much over the last 5 years. So you have to remember, if you are living and playing every day with the best players, you are going to become one of the best players yourself. So now, has he overrun the position on the black ball? It doesn't look like it goes past the 9 into the bottom left corner pocket. From this angle, it definitely doesn't look like it goes. And now from the way he lined that up, he was looking at hitting the black ball full ball, which means it's heading towards the 11.
10 秒.
Where is this black ball going?
5, 4.
No, he's turned, and I don't think he has an extension, which is why he's had to play it. And it's there. What a pot from Phone Menure. Rack and run for him off the dry break of Sununyan. As he gets his 11th point on the scoreboard, he leads 11-6. Now, 2 break and runs, 4 rack and runs for Phone Menure. So at first we saw Phone maintaining a 2-3 frame gap. He's now pulled it to 5 frames. He's 4 away from the finish line, 5 away from his opponent.
第18局，杨少杰开球。
And if he breaks and pots the ball and runs the rack, I don't see a way back for Sununyan. Although it is winner's break format, You have to be braking well, you have to be clearing well. Yeah, and this is why you can't write off any player yet, because the break is tough. You're not sure of potting a ball on the break. And if you have been on the stream and you've watched many of these matches, you'd see how tough the break can be and how many players have dry breaks and how low the percentage of potting a ball on the break can be. And it's only when we see a player running 3 or 4 or 5 break and runs in a row that we'll see people saying that the winner's break format is not fair or should be changed. I'd agree if maybe every player was doing that and that was the norm. But the percentage of players that can actually do that consistently, it's very low. So what are they doing differently to the other players? What work are they doing more? How much more time are they investing in practicing the break? What have they figured out that other players haven't? And if those factors are what makes a player break better, I think the break rule is fair in that way. Player who's put in more work deserves to be rewarded. Yes, Gareth Potts was playing on the TV table last night. That stream is on our Facebook page and YouTube page. He defeated Kong Dejing from China 15 frames to 13 on TV table 1 last night. That was a winner's bracket match, so that put Kong in the loser's bracket. And Potts continued in the winner's bracket. Just 4 players left in the winner's bracket now. Gareth Potts, Tang Shenshao, Zhao Ruliang, and Zheng Kongpeng. And Kong Dejing currently playing at the moment on table 5. He's down 11-7 against Zhao Jianbo. Zhao Jianbo is the winner of the Division 1 tour just a few days ago. That was the tournament before this one. And that's the second time that Sununyan has had to pull out a recovery shot like that to stay on the finish. And just making the 6 in the right center pocket. Yeah, he's taken these well, has Sununyan. Currently a 5-frame gap from Foundment. This will bring it back to 4. It's there, and that's another rack and run of Foundment's dry break.
第19局，孙源开球。
Yeah, when you start playing a game like Heyball, the break can be quite daunting, especially before. We used to use the triangle rack, and we used to have a 4-point break rule where 4 balls had to pass the balk line, or 1 pot and 3 pass the balk line. But can you imagine how tough that can be? And in these tournaments, if you did have an illegal break, they mark it down. 3 illegal breaks in a match cost you a frame. And it used to be that 4 illegal breaks cost you the match. That was a rule at one point in time. So I'm sure quite a lot of players are happy that that rule's gone, because in that case you weren't so worried about potting a ball as you were getting a legal break and not having a frame taken from you just because the break isn't working. But yeah, if you've been watching these streams and you watch the way these players break, you'll see quite a few different types of breaks. You'll see the new Chinese break, which has so much power in it. Where the players are actually lifting the cue behind and then really like almost jumping off the ground, getting the cue through the white ball on that break. Then of course, if you watch Sununyan breaking, or a player like Chu Bingji, you'd see that there's not much power, but the precision that the break is hit with. They're hitting that first ball so accurately, they're cueing through the cue ball. So whatever energy is there is being transferred directly into the pack. And that's most times where you see the cue ball actually stopping the center of the table and 2 balls going towards the center pockets.
10秒。
Yeah, and at the moment, we've seen the breaks not working for Sununyan as well. But now, if the break's not working for both players, it comes down to who's finishing. And then, of course, it comes down to who's leading. Now, Menure has the 4-frame gap. He's 4 away from his opponent. He's 4 away from the finish line. And if he continues like this, black ball does go into the bottom right corner pocket and both center pockets. So if he continues like this, 5 frames away from his opponent, 3 away from the finish line. Yeah, that's a big shot coming up now. Needs to land nicely on the black ball from the 2. Yeah, he's just left himself. He's left himself the pot. I would have expected him to come slightly closer. But he's stroking the ball well at the moment. So this black ball for his 12th point and another rack and run in this match. It's there, no problem at all, as he goes 12-7 up on Sununyan. That's Foneman's 5th rack and run. He's on 5 rack and runs, 2 break and runs. Sununyan 6 rack and runs, 1 break and run. So it looks like that early lead that Foneman was able to establish when he started going 2 in front, 3 in front. He's now 5 in front. He's definitely in the driving seat in this match. It would help, of course, if he can get his breaks right. He's made the 15. Cue ball also stays on the table, but look at where the cue ball is. Does he have a first shot? Yeah, now that's the power break from Foneman. There we see the 7 coming to rest. It doesn't go. So this is going to be a bit of a tactical one now. In this 20th frame of the match. This is a race to 15 winners break format. Now at this point in the match, neither player, of course, will want to give away any advantage. Sununyan being down, Foneman being that close to the finish line. And he'd know that, especially at this level, players of this caliber, you can't afford to open the door. You have to keep the pressure on right till the end. And that looks like it might be touching again on the 2. In the game of Heyball, you can play a touching ball. It is allowed. Yeah, that 2 ball was a tempter because it could go to the bottom left, but what then? 7 still tied up. There's no use in potting a ball if there's nowhere to go after that.
延时。
Yeah, that definitely was an attempt, but now has he left anything on the table? It looks like Sununyan is going for the 13, bottom left. And it's not there, so table open, cue ball in the middle of the table. And I can tell you that's a much more difficult shot than it looks from here. The 13 being where it was and the cue ball being where it was as well. Fonement going the way of stripes. He's played the 9 to take out the 10. 12 at the top of the table connects him to the black ball. Expect him to stun into this 10 ball, push it over the center pocket. Yeah, that's a brilliant shot from Fonement. And it's those little shots that make him as good as he is, and is the reason his clearance rate is so high. Now that shot starts way before it actually happens. It starts 2 shots ago. The way he potted the 13 to get the perfect angle on the 9 and keep the angle on the 9 to get into the 10. You might think he magically appears on the right side of the 9. Not at all. It's all planned, all purposeful. Even the angle he has on the 10 now, right side of the 10. Cue ball naturally heading towards the ball cushion. You don't want to have to force shots. As much as you can, you want to use the cue ball's natural movements off the angles and around the table. And it's there. Fonement Cure 13-7 up as he now leads by 6 frames over Sununyan.
第21局，杨少杰开球。
Fonement Cure breaking in this 21st frame. He's currently 13-7 up in this race to 15. Expect a lot of power into that. Yeah, that's what's working for him at the moment. Full power. He's potting a ball. He's staying at the table. Straight away are a few groupings on the table, and that's what happens with that powerful break. You lose the control, so you end up with a few more issues on the table, which is why you've seen the run-out rate is much higher on the softer control break. But at the end of the day, if the soft control break is not working, you have to change something. You can't afford to keep letting Sununyan to the table. Now he's having a look at the 11-6. Is the 11-6 combination on the right side of our screen, is it? It looks like it's almost set. might be just hitting the outside jaw, but it's almost set towards the bottom right corner pocket. And the 5 goes next to the black ball, so that's his only problem. 4 goes off the cushion, off the 13, into the top right. Or is he wanting to play the 4 onto the 11-6? Yeah, I don't like this shot. It's an excellent pot. It is an excellent pot, but I'll tell you why I didn't like this shot is because of where the 4 is now. Yeah, that was definitely a dead set combination. He hit that really well. Of course, he had to strike it well for it to still go. But now he has to find a way to free the 4. And here it is. And at the moment, Phone Menure really has found his rhythm. This is what we are used to seeing from him. Type of player that no matter how many problems there are on the table, with his skill and creativity on the table, he's able to sort those issues out. Yeah, he seems unstoppable at the moment. And he's the type of player that when he gets the break right, this is the type of things he can do. Makes him that much more dangerous. Because I mean, at this level, all these players can make a finish if the balls are in the open. But it's when there's problems on the table, that's what separates these players. And this black ball for his 14th point and another break and run for Phone Menure as he leads 14 frames to 7. He's on the hill in this race to 15.
冠军500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
And there we see the stats: 3 break and runs, 5 rack and runs for Phone Mint, 1 break and run, 6 rack and runs for Sununyan. So Sununyan with 100% clearance rate with the points that he does have, 7 clearances, 7 points. That does not tell the story of this match. So many other frames that he missed the clearances on, which Phone took. Expect a huge break from Phone Mint. Yeah, that's massive, and he's potted the cue ball. Look at that break. Look, he does know that he got the break right. It's just the cue ball now. But it got knocked in. Yeah, it's cue ball knocked in by the 13. I can't blame him for that. I mean, he hasn't made a ball early in the match, so he's put so much power into it now to make a ball, which he's doing. So now Sununyan to the table. He has to win 8 frames on the spin to win this match. Ball in hand for him behind the balk line. Yeah, now of course, I would say if it was alternate break, that is not possible. But being a winner's break format, it is possible. Whether it's likely or not, it's a different story. Because I'd have to base that on how the player has been playing throughout the match. And to be able to run 8 frames in a row, you have to be absolutely flawless. Now, can that type of pressure bring out the best in Sununyan? Only time will tell. Yeah, clever little shot to just nudge the 3 away from the black. It does make it potable into the bottom left corner as well. Nicely on the black ball. And this will be his 8th point and another rack and run. 7th rack and run for Sununyan as he gets his 8th point on the scoreboard. He trails Phonman Kyo 14 frames to 8. Now 14-8, there you see it, 1 break and run, 7 rack and runs. And from now on, he needs absolute perfection, which includes the break as well. So back against the wall. Let's see what Sununyan can do. He loses another frame, he's out of the tournament. Last 12 finish for him. Second at the Baotao Super Tour. Consistent top 32 finisher. And he hasn't made a ball. That soft break is not working at the moment. There's times it works and there's times it doesn't. And so far from what I've seen in the last 22 frames, the soft break has not worked. Which is the reason that Phonman has changed his break to the power break. Stripes in play for Phonman. Now the 15 on the left side of the table on our screen, it does go into the left center. No, it's not there. Inside jaw. Bridging over the 6 ball makes that shot very tough.
10秒，延时。
So the thinking behind that shot was to play the carom off the 5, pull the cue ball into the 13, pot the 13, leave the cue ball in the pocket. But he's given Phone another opportunity. And with Phone being 14-8 up in this race to 15, man, he's well and truly in pole position. But I have to say, we haven't seen the best of Sununyan in this match. I have watched him play, I've watched him practice. We've seen him many times on TV Table 1. I know exactly what he's capable of as a player. And if you look at his run in the Bauto Super Tour about 2 months ago, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The players that he had to go through to get to the final against Chu Bingxie. He's also the player that took out Zheng Yebo in stage 2 of this tournament. Scoreline of 13-5. Something very similar to that, but yeah, I mean, that was excellent play from Sununyan. But take nothing away from the man at the table when he's focused. And when he's in this kind of form and he finds his rhythm, it can be so lethal when he's at the table. And as you can see, he doesn't open the door. It's 100% right to the very last ball. He's double checking the 15 to the center. You don't want to end up behind the 4. He looks good. This black ball for the match. Yeah, I knew he was going to power that in. Phone Menure, 15-8 over Sununyan as he books his place into the last 8 of this tournament. Great performance from him. Didn't find his breaks at the beginning of the match, but eventually he did manage to pull away and held the lead over Sununyan. This was the round 5 losers bracket match. Sununyan eliminated from the tournament, top 12 finish. Phone Menure goes on into winners bracket round 6, which will be played tonight, with winners losers bracket round 6, which will be played tonight, and round 4 of the winners bracket tonight at 5 p.m. local time in China. I'm your commentator for the Joy Heyball events, Raymond Tilak from South Africa. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back later, 5 p.m. local time. Thank you guys. Take care.
中式八球，俗称黑八，是一项原创于中国的运动。在乔氏的推动下，已走进全球69个国家。乔氏中式八球，风靡全球的中国运动。